It's awesome how all these things were birthed around the same time too. The 70s were a big part of the birthing of these things, and the 80s really, they became what they are today.
The real reality is that the movement was up and running, and like when I used to go to high school, I was just reading the writing on the wall because I was seeing tags and, you know, like Stay High, like Stash mentioned, Stitch, Snake, Coco, Miko, Joe 136, you know, all the crazy great names from the past. And you know, it's like, wow, well, maybe that's something I could do. You know, maybe I could discover myself or create an identity for myself because I didn't have one through becoming a writer.
Skateboarding was what I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? 9th grade came, I was like 14. It's like, I can't do it no more. I ran away. Ran away from Philly and hitchhiked from Philly to San Diego, you know, Costa Mesa, actually to Element. They thought I was crazy. I came out there, I'm only 14, like, yo, I'm here. They were like, what the hell are you doing here? I'm like, yo, I ran away, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, what? That's crazy, right? Yeah.
The thing about graph was like, I was always little, but there was some sort of energy down with graph, and I noticed how big the guys did their pieces. And I figured, well, gee, the bigger I did my piece, you know, it had this sort of mystical fantasy quality about it that, wow, you know, these guys must be giants. So by the time I got to be quick, you know, I started doing really big pieces, and I used to like to really do them end to end, and therefore people would think I was a giant. Meanwhile, I'm this little spindly guy.
I just don't want to be a name on the wall of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. I want that name to basically stand out. I want it to shine more than anyone else for my own personal thing, because that's what graffiti was about.
No, I always wanted to be white. I always wanted to do all the white sports and shit like that. You know, I always wanted to play hockey and soccer and you know. But, yeah, I got into skateboarding because Michael J. Fox was so rad. He was like one of the best fucking skateboarders of all time. Back to the Future, goddammit. The guy was holding back the cars, jumping on top of curves and stuff like that. So I was like, Mom, give me a skateboard.
My sister's boyfriend at the time, he had he was real cool, and he would rock like spike belts and like 8 bandanas like on each arm and leg, and I would mimic that. And when he started skating, I naturally started skating, you know. And he was with the older crew. They called themselves the Street Rats. So I started my crew, which was the Wild Grinders, and the rest is history.
So a lot of people would come in and look at me making these paper cut stencils and say, "What is that? How do you do that? Teach me how to do it." So a friend that wanted to learn how to do it, he was staying at my house, and I looked through the newspaper for a picture for him to practice on, and saw this picture of Andre the Giant, an ad for wrestling at the Civic Center in Providence. And I was like, "Oh, you should cut this out. This is hilarious." He's like, "No way, dude, that's stupid. I'm not doing that." And I was like, "What? This is the new posse, man. This is the shit right here."
Coming up as a producer, I studied DJ Premier. I mean, those who know, you know, like that was my #1 influence. I used to hear his beats and be like, this is what a beat is supposed to sound like. And he had a particular style. The way he hooked his drums up, chopped the samples, scratched, it signified him. Where if you heard somebody else doing something like that, you found out it wasn't Premier, you'd be like, ah, he's biting. You know what I mean? But the way I got good, a lot of people don't know, I used to imitate Premier for years. Like I would hear a beat he did and I would like try to make the same fucking beat. But eventually I realized, because my people would put me on, like Evidence, I play my beat, like it sounds too much like Primo shit, you know? But that's kind of how I got my chops up. But I wasn't the alchemist, you know, until I finally realized that I had to create my own sound.
This culture right now is a hip hop generation, so the masses wanting to use us, they got to. They got to, because it's the only real true culture. Where's the rock culture at? There's no more Dio. Shit is done. The devil's gonna get, no. 357 Magnum, motherfucker. Reality has come out.